So guys, this is a quick video of a ride from Buxton to Whaley Bridge in the High Peak. And I'm with my friend Gary, who's on a Vespa. And it's a Sunday afternoon, nice and sunny. So I'm just going to run you through it. Now, I was recording this on a Drift Ghost XL, which I've been trying out for the last week, but been having problems with the sound. So we're going to do a separate. I'm going to do a separate video about the camera and the problems I've been having. But if anyone's got any advice, do let me know. It's a Drift Ghost XL. Having problems with the sound, keeps dropping out when I'm using an external mic. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to do this voiceover afterwards. So I'm doing a voiceover at home afterwards. Just going to take you through the commentary on this. And this guy on the left in the black top, he was the owner of the bar. He's a Greek guy, and it sounds like he's ridden scooters all his life. He was asking about our bikes, if they were automatic or geared. Told him they were automatic, and he kind of laughed and said, oh, you know, I prefer gears. But each to their own. You know, each to their own. That's what makes it so cool. So yeah, leaving Buxton Town Centre in the High Peak, and I'm following Gary. Now the idea was to come out with Gary, get a little more experience. And this is the first time that I've been out with another person. Okay, so I'm trying to learn from him. I've got Gary leading. None of us really know this road too well in terms of going on a scooter. So I'm following him, following his lead, and just following his line through the bends and the turns. Now at the moment we're still leaving the town, but it does get quite treacherous on this road a little further on. Gary's an experienced rider. He's been riding for about 10 years, and he's ridden everything from, you know, his Vespa that he's got now, all the way up to a 1000cc, Harleys, different kinds of bikes, you know, so he's got a lot of experience in different machines, and it was good to follow him and just follow his line, just seeing how he leans the bike and things. Always good to learn from somebody else. And I would recommend, if you've got a friend who's got a scooter or a bike, try and get out with them, get some tips. Just looking out for the guy on the left there pulling out. And now we start to leave the town, we're coming up into the countryside. Absolutely spectacular views on this road. I think the road is called the A5004 Manchester Road, if I'm not mistaken. So if you know the area, you probably know it. If you don't know the area, it's well worth. It's a great ride for scooting on or for biking on. Very, very popular with the crazy bikers, the sports bikers. Some very scary turns for me as a new rider. You can see now we're creeping uphill, we're creeping up to the top. Absolutely gorgeous day, blue skies, nice temperature, not really a wind chill. It was a little bit windy, some crosswinds, but nothing major. And as a new rider, I felt I was quite safe. This is 3.5 weeks on since the CBT, just over 3.5 weeks. It's a Sunday. And you can see Gary's he's very confident. And I'm following his line there, just trying to get the bends right, get the turns, the twists, and at the same time trying to avoid the potholes. Fairly smooth road, and I must admit I am getting better at steering around the potholes and the lumps and bumps. One advantage to coming out with somebody else who's more experienced, the feedback that Gary gave me on the journey up when he was behind me was, I need to use my head more in terms of looking out of the bends, looking where I want to go. Because where you look is where you go towards. So if you're looking down or you're looking very short-sighted, it's not a good way, it's a bad habit that you're developing. So definitely something I can improve is looking out of the bends and looking ahead and using my head to turn more. which you learn on your CBT, right? That's one of the first things they teach you about cornering, but definitely need to put that into practice a little bit more. And you can see absolutely stunning views. I don't know whether you can see it. The camera's on the right hand side, low down on the helmet, so you would get a better view if it was on top, but it's absolutely spectacular. And if you're not from this area, you've never been up to the High Peak, the Peak District in Derbyshire, then you know you could do a lot worse than spend a weekend up here, especially if you've got a bike or a scooter or a Royal Alloy GT125 or a Vespa. So Gary's shot off into the distance. I was just going at a pace that was comfortable for me. I had a car up my backside who was getting a little impatient, but I wasn't being pushed and I wasn't being bullied. I just held my position in the road, and I was just thinking of safety, so not taking the turns too fast. Although on some of the turns I actually felt like I should just let go a bit more, maybe go a little faster and lean the bike more. Maybe I was trying to stay upright too much. But I guess that comes with experience, and it's all about feeling confident. It is a very fast road, but there's some very twisty, bendy turns on here as well. Left-handed bend and then into a right-handed bend, and it's pretty much a sheer drop on the left-hand side, so you know you don't want to get these bends wrong. About 50 going into this bend, and then slowed it down a little, but you know, just got to be sensible and feel safe. So if anybody else has used the Drift Ghost XL camera and has had problems with the external mic, with it dropping out and just not getting a good sound, it does and then it doesn't. It's in and out all the time. So I've tried repositioning the mic in the helmet. Sometimes it runs fine, sometimes it just keeps dropping, and it was really annoying today. So that's why I'm doing this voiceover now. But yeah, if you've got a solution to that, let me know. I'm hoping to use the camera more on future rides. Just absolutely stunning scenery, spectacular. On days like today when it's sunny, if you haven't got a scooter, you think, I want a scooter, I'm going to get one. And when you've got one, you just think, I want to get out on my scooter today, because when the weather's like this, it's just perfect, not too hot, nice and dry, nice gentle breeze. It's absolutely amazing. It makes you feel alive, invigorating. And now we're starting to drop down the other side. You can see we're starting to, on the descent. This is one of those roads that's just abused by the bikers. Although we did see quite a few scooters out today. We saw about half a dozen scooters in the town, which was cool. You can see there's a little lay-by on the side there with a hidden exit. On the left-hand side, you've got a reservoir, Fernley Reservoir. Absolutely stunning. There's Gary taking the bend ahead. And now it's a sharp right and then a very sharp left and then a right again, so a real snake of a road. And I'm trying my best just to stay in the centre and not go over to the there. I've gone over a bit far there on the right hand side. Straightens out a little bit. We're still dropping, we're going downhill. I think there's some lights up here, some temporary lights. Past the cyclist. Past the pub on the right hand side. Pubs have just reopened in England after the lockdown, so lots of people having a beer on the beer garden, on the tables. And now we're just coming down into Whaley Bridge. Here's the lights, temporary lights on red. Gary just gives me a thumbs up, just checking I'm okay, making sure I'm okay and I'm not traumatised by those bends and that journey. And I really enjoyed it. It was a great ride, and you know, good to get that experience with someone more experienced than me. The cyclist is going to try and burn us off. Now this part of the road I was more familiar with because I've ridden this section a few times, so a bit more familiar with the turns and the potholes and so on as we drop down into the town. So guys, if you have any feedback to leave either on my riding, any tips to improve, anything that I did wrong, leave a comment. If you want to know a bit more about that road, I think it's the A5004. Great road if you're in the area and you've not been up that road on your scooter, then it's a great road on a sunny day. If you're from outside of the area and you want to come up and check it out, spend a weekend in the High Peak, it's a great location. Especially if you like being outdoors. Just stunning scenery, great walks. And if you've got any advice on that Drift Ghost XL sound problem, then please leave a comment if you've had experience of it and you know a solution. In the meantime, I'm going to keep tinkering with it, trying to place the mic correctly, and hopefully I'll get it right before the next video. Looking forward to doing more videos with the commentary and things. And yeah, leave a comment. So we're just dropping down into the town now. We've come to the lights. So overall I felt pretty safe. 3.5 weeks, just over 3.5 weeks since my CBT. That was probably the longest and scariest ride in terms of the bends for me, but a great learning experience. I felt pretty safe overall, but there's a few things to improve on, and mainly just using my head to look out of the bends and to look where I want to go, just to make life a little easier. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you to Gary for taking me on the ride and leading me, and sharing his experience. Enjoyed it.